Reported today that there were 50 million children living in poverty in the United States, up 18% from about 10 years ago. The reason they're in poverty is because so many lost jobs. What do you propose to increase jobs in the immediate future? Reforming the tax code needs to be done, but that's going to take years. We need jobs now.
I'm sorry, what study did you?
The Annie E. Casey Foundation.
I'm not familiar with the report, but I'll take a look at it. I can try to get it later.
There are more children in poverty now than there were a decade ago.
Yeah, you know, honestly, for the richest and wealthiest nation in the world, it is disappointing to me that we've got more people and children in poverty than ever before. One of the challenges that I had when I was a mayor for 4 years in Manchester is dealing with underprivileged kids and dealing with the homelessness rate, not just for adults but for children. And we actually reformed our whole system and model in Manchester, and our goal was not necessarily to increase spending. I looked at increasing spending as not solving the problem, but failure. My hope was if we could decrease spending, not because we were cutting spending, but because there was a less need, that would be success, meaning we were getting people off of the streets, out of homelessness, and into homes, and then dealing with, you know, the elements and issues that were affecting their homelessness and their level of poverty. So what we did was focus on a housing first model, which is very different than what traditional models have been, and some would argue that that was even controversial. It took a little time for me to consider it over time. I looked at how it's worked in other communities, including one right here in New Hampshire, in Nashua, and other states around the country. And then I made the decision that it did make sense. So on a local level, we were able to bring nonprofits, local taxpayer dollars, federal taxpayer dollars, as well as the business community together. We then hired an individual who oversaw the program but was responsible to the nonprofits and focused all the nonprofits' attention on this new model. And it was, we began to see success. Now, with those who are in poverty in our country, you are right. What they want is an opportunity today. And they want a better future for themselves and for their families. And I can tell you this, when you have an opportunity to go to work and provide for yourself and your family, it gives you a better feeling about yourself, it gives you better self-worth, and it gives you that strength, and I think courage to move your family to the next level. I believe that we have that opportunity in this country, but what is forcing the unemployment rate higher is, I think, the policies that have been put in place to this point. I don't think that they have been successful to this point. So what I'd like to see is a different approach. Let's try a different alternative. And anybody who wants to get that job can, you know, have that opportunity. Now, again, as I talked about earlier, in New Hampshire, I've held, you know, 2 different job fairs in 2 different parts of the state. We're going to continue to do that, not just for individuals, but the next one we're going to be holding is in November for the veterans returning from overseas. 50% of veterans right now coming back feel that they are going to have a difficult time getting employment. So it's not just the legislative policies that are enacted. We can use the influence of the offices that we hold to try to bring those job creators and job seekers together. And there are, you know, we're a little fortunate in New Hampshire where our unemployment rate is lower. I still don't think it's where it needs to be. I don't think our local economy is as strong as it should be. The housing market, I think most people probably know, is still tenuous at best. Most people's value of their homes have come down over the last couple of years. So there's a lot of work that has to be done. There's no question about it. But here on the ground, I am using the influence of the office to try to encourage those job creators and employers to get those jobs to those individuals, and I'm bringing those 2 groups together.